Awards presented by Ish Guitars. Now, if you look right over here, we've got a beautiful guitar that's being given to us by Ish Guitars, Jess Wilson and the crew at Ish Guitars, and this is going to be raffled off at the Sammys. And the way to get in on that is to go to SyracuseAreaMusic.com and submit your email address, and again, that will be given away the night of the Sammys. Now, the mission of the Syracuse Area Music Awards has remained true since the first award ceremony was held in 1993 to honor the musicians who worked so hard with the local music scene with their artistry. Now, the Sammys has lived on since founding in 1992, which speaks to the dedication of the volunteers on the Sammys Executive Committee, aiming to air Syracuse's most prominent musicians to the forefront of public attention. Now, the Sammys Hall of Fame induction will be Thursday, March 7th, upstairs at the Dinosaur Barbecue, and that goes from 7 until 10 p.m. Tickets are $25, and they can be purchased at SyracuseAreaMusic.com. Now, the Sammy Awards will be Friday, March 8th, right here at the Palace Theater in Eastwood at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20, and they'll be available at Soundgarden, also available at our website, SyracuseAreaMusic.com. Now, the People's Choice online voting is now open. Vote once every day. Again, that's SyracuseAreaMusic.com/People's Choice. Vote for your favorite artist or band, venue to see live music, and local festival or music series. So now we're going to get on to the Hall of Fame Award inductees. First up this year is Little Jan and the Radiants. Give it up for Little Jan and the Radiants. Now, the Syracuse vocal group Little Jan and the Radiants was formed in 1958 when three male members of the T-Tones, Billy Shelley, Dominic Scoretti, and Tommy Nelly replaced Billy Sanders, who went into the service, with Carl Irvine, and added some none other than the departed Billy's girlfriend, 17-year-old Jan Parola, a vocalist with the band's sister group, the Teen Tonettes, an all-girl companion quartet that was fashioned in the 1950s urban neighborhoods. So let's give it up one more time for Little Jan and the Radiants. Next, heading up into the Hall of Fame, one that I'm excited to announce myself because this guy I consider a close friend and also a coworker, that being Mr. Scott Dixon. Now, long before music was truly portable, an 8-year-old kid from Syracuse saved up his allowance for almost a year to buy a portable Fisher-Price record player and a carrying case for all of his 45s. Dixon, a.k.a. Scott Dixon's passion for music grew through endless amounts of vinyl albums, cassette tapes, CDs, and today's MP3 and streaming services. And of course, he is still doing live shows here in the Syracuse area. He hosts Locals Only, a show right on 95X. He's also Afternoon Drive on 95X and involved with big events that we still do to this day, the 95X Big Excuse, 95X Pajama Jam, Fresh Sounds Concert Series, our Summer Concert Series, and of course, Locals Only Fest. So one more time for Mr. Scott Dixon. Next up on the list is Terrence Savaca and Pete Heitzman. Now, Karen and Pete met on stage at a club on Westcott Street in 1980 and have been performing Savaca songs exclusively for over 3 decades. Touring as a duo for more than 20 years, they've appeared at many of the finest venues and festivals in North America, so let's give it up one more time. Next up, Al Falso. Now, the sign of the store read, Al Falso, the Music Man, and what a music man he was. Honored as such for his solo harp track on the Rod's Heavier Than Thou LP, equally proficient on the drums, and as a vocalist, musicians from upstate New York flocked to the small town of Cortland to bask in his presence. So give it up one more time for Al Falso. Next up is the Music Educator of the Year, and this year it is Melissa Gardner. Now, trombonist Melissa Gardner has shared the stage with several notable artists such as Aretha Franklin, Jerry Allen, Gerald Wilson, Patty Austin, Tia Fuller, Ingrid Jensen, Arturo O'Farrills, Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra, Dave Matthews Band, and more. So congrats to Melissa Gardner. Lifetime Achievement Award recipient this year is Lou Reed. Now, Lou's widow, Lori Anderson, is actually going to be at the award ceremony March 8th to induct Lou. So in the fall of 1960, after the demise of his first high school doo-wop group, The Shades, guitarist, vocalist, poet, composer Lou Reed headed north from his Long Island home to Syracuse University to pursue his education and his music in an environment that one biographer called more sympathetic with his artistic temperament and distrust of authority. Now, showing his penchant for controversy at an early age, he worked as a DJ on campus radio station WAER, but was quickly fired for his esoteric playlists and on-air arguments with listeners while launching an underground campus literary magazine called Lonely Women's Quarterly. Sounds just like Lou, doesn't it? So congrats to Lou. Next up, we've got the Founders Award, and we're going to bring up a special guest for this one. Frank Malfitano. Frank, where are you? Come on up.
Clearly, I should have brought notes. I mean, you're an impossible act to follow. For anybody who's ever been to a concert or a sporting event in Syracuse, at every stadium, at every theater, before and after every event, you've probably seen this guy. You might not know his name, but you certainly know who he is. He's really iconic. And I think the reason he might not have a lot of notoriety, he hasn't really received a lot of recognition. He's been immortalized in song by one of our preeminent singer-songwriters, Jamie Noter Thomas. He's been written about, many stories have been written about him by Mark Bielczak and others. But essentially, he's been hiding in plain sight. His name is Elijah Harris Jr. We call him Eli. Yes. It's such an honor to give out this award this year. We don't give it out every year. We've only given it out on 3 previous occasions over the last 25 years or whatever it's been. And I want to thank Liz for inviting me, and I want to thank the committee for endorsing my nomination of this wonderful, deserving, incredible musician. You know, calling Elijah a street musician is a little like calling Picasso a house painter. I mean, he's a performer, he's a busker, he's an entertainer, he's a dancer. He's a guy that gives you everything he has every time out. He expects nothing in return. He comes with an open guitar case. Sometimes, you know, when he leaves, it's an empty open guitar case. You know, he comes there to make you feel good. It's about you. He's a part of the DNA of Syracuse. He's a part of the soul of Syracuse. I think he's one of the music scene's greatest goodwill ambassadors. And it's really an honor for me to be here this year to welcome him into the Sammys and formally recognize truly one of the greatest musicians we've ever known. Elijah Harris Jr.
Okay, so the last award we've got is the Jack Bacchino Spirit of the Sammys Award. So Jack is here. Let's give it up for Jack. Now, the story of Jack could not accurately be described as anything but a love story, renowned for his devotion to the music and musicians of Central New York. For as long as anyone can remember, Jack has been a fixture on the live music scene as a fan, a photographer, and most importantly, as a friend. His contributions to our community by his documentation of our rich musical history through his photography, his self-deprecating Facebook posts, which never fail to bring a chuckle, or his loving crusade for the health of children with cancer via his yearly St. Baldrick's Day head-shaving fundraisers, have endeared Jack to all who know him and have earned him back more love in return than he can ever begin to imagine. So let's give it up one more time for Jack. Congratulations. All right, so that is our list of award inductees. Next up, we're going to get to some nominations. And we're going to bring up Mr. Dave Versina. He's going to kind of kick some things off here for you in just a second. But before we get to that, though, March 8th, let's talk about the actual award show. So featuring the Lou Reed Tribute Band, there's also featuring original band members Stuart Heinrich and Ellard Moose Bowles are going to be there. which is awesome. Karen Savaka and Pete Heitzman, Stroke, Barroom Philosophers, Sean McLeod, and Alani Sky will all be performing. Now, in addition to these performances, awards will be presented in 13 recording categories, as well as the People's Choice Award for Best Band, Best Venue to see live music, and Best Festival or Music Series. The Brian Bork Award, presented by Syracuse.com, Post Standard for Best New Artist, will also be announced. And as in the past, this year's Best New Artist will receive 6 hours of recording time from Subcat Studios. Now, Sammy Awards are given based on the judgment of submissions sent by mail to the Sammy's Board of Musicians in Syracuse and the surrounding area. Now, an independent panel of music industry professionals and educators from around the country, led by James Abbott, review the submissions and make their selections based on their merit and their genre. So now we're going to get to the nominees. And again, we're going to bring up Mr. Dave Brasina from 105.9 The Rebel. He's going to get things started for us.
Good morning, everybody. I mean, like all of you, I'm hearing a lot of this for the first time, and I can't wait for the Hall of Fame dinner upstairs at the Dinosaur Barbecue with all of the Hall of Fame nominees and the people that have been mentioned so far. It looks like it'll be an unbelievable weekend for the Sammys, and we're all looking forward to it. Now, here are the nominees, and again, as Joe mentioned, there's a panel of judges that helps narrow this down and then votes on the merits of all of these albums that have been produced over the course of the last year. I know this year we're over 100? 111 submissions, and those are just representing the Syracuse Central New York area. So again, not only are there a lot of bands playing in Syracuse on a regular basis, there's a lot of bands recording, and we're going to recognize some of them right now. For the nominees in the Best Pop category, we have Screen Test. We have Forgotten Song, which is a collection of artists with 2 CDs, Volume 1 and 2, and we have Emma Jude in the Best Pop category. If you're not sure of who some of these people are, hopefully by the end of the Sammys you will, and you have an opportunity to go listen to some of them online. In the Best Hip Hop and Rap category, we have Genetics, Big Nate MG, JR Lottery, Chris Mack, and MLA. In the Best Americana category, I know that it's a strong category in Syracuse and Central New York, Joe DeVoli, Eileen Nicholson Kalfas, Ghost Town Ramblers, and Dennis McGuire's one-man band. Now, in the alternative category, I know that this year, when talking to James Abbott, that there were so many submissions. Normally, we like to keep this to about 5, but there were just such an incredible deep category that they actually have 6 this year in the alternative category. And those include Townhouse Warrior, The Amazing Shakes, Strange to Look At, The Bouchers, Late Earth, and Sympathy. In the rock category, we've got a mix of veterans and newer bands. Kicking things off, it's Juke and Bone, Atkins Riot, Tony Torres, Climbing Stars, and The Trend. Jumping into the hard rock category, we have One Step from Falling, American Primitive, The Last Divide, Between Hope and Fear, and Damon Laris. In the other style, which is an interesting category because some bands justify any other category that we can put them in, and rather than splinter it into so many different ones, we kind of lump them all together. It's kind of a world beat, but it's not. It's a mix of all kinds of different things. And in the other style this year, we have Emily Rivera, Samba Laranja, the SU Brazilian Ensemble, and Fritz's Polka Band. And in the Best Jam Band category, a category that's actually come up in the last few years and continues to get stronger in this area, we have Mike Davis and the Laughing Buddha Episodes, Gin Bucket, Count Blastula, Sundrop Rise, and the Lightkeepers. Now, in addition to 95X, 93Q, and Rebel as sponsors, we also have Wolf, and we have Skip Clark here to announce some more of the nominees.
Thank you, Dave. 92.1 The Wolf, certainly a big supporter of our local country music scene, as well as all the different music genres. All right, here we go. Best Singer-Songwriter, Sydney Irving. Jess Novak, Daryl Rahm, Rhiannon Payne, Stephen Douglas Wolf. For Best Blues, Neil Benet and the Night Flyers, Taz Crew, Stephen D. Odom, Ron Spencer Band, and Cloudier. That's for Best Blues. It's adorable. Sounds like a ring doorbell. The Best R&B, I love this. The Ripcords, Irv Lyons Jr., Shaquille, The Voice, Apollo 23. For Best Country, here we go. Follow the Muse, Lonnie Park, Stephen Kelly, the Moonshine River Band. The Best Jazz category, Bob Holtz and Byron Kid Cage. That's for the Best Jazz. Those are the nominees to wrap up that list. If you go to SyracuseAreaMusic.com, you're going to be able to see the complete list there online. Make sure y'all do that. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Each year, hundreds of local musicians and members of the Syracuse music community attend the Sammys. And since the first Sammy award show was held at the Landmark, was back in '93, this annual celebration of the Syracuse music scene has become the #1 local music event right here in central New York. That's very cool. The board of directors would like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting the community-focused event, which is produced by a dedicated group of volunteers and supported by grants, as well as private and corporate donations. Ish Guitars, the presenting sponsor. Jesse Wilson is here. I want Jesse to come. Why don't you come forward and say a few words, please?
They bring all these radio announcers up to talk, and then they bring me up. My voice isn't nearly as cool as any of these guys. Ish Guitars is so excited to be the new title sponsor of the Sammys. We love local musicians. We're a local store. And kind of funny side note is this was started in 1993. I was born in 1993. So to be able to be the title sponsor of that, that's as old as me, pretty darn cool. But, as a business owner, being able to sell instruments, which are tools to make music and recordings, and then see them being used by our customers and friends to win awards is the coolest thing ever. And all besides being 25 and sponsoring the event. And to see that happening and to be a part of that is so great. And the people that put on the Sammys are so good at what they do. They really have a lot of experience, and they try to keep it very fair and honest and accurate. And I'm just so happy to be here and appreciate all of you. And thank you to all of the local Syracuse musicians who hold us dear to their hearts as much as we hold them. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Just a quick rundown of all the sponsors. Of course, Ish Guitars, we have The Rebel, we have Bridge Street, Joshua Johnson Design. How about our friends at Subcat Studios? Thank you. Dinosaur Barbecue, K Mace, we have Jack Pacino, Skinner Realty, Syracuse.com, NYS Music, it's a great magazine, News Channel 9, thank you so much, 95X, 93Q, of course 92.1 The Wolf, and CNY Live. Don't forget, you can go online, go to SyracuseAreaMusic.com, and you can see the complete list of all our nominees. So good luck, everybody. Thank you for having 92.1 The Wolf. God bless, and we'll see you at the award show.